What up, and welcome. I'm Matthew Msingati, the designer and developer. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Coded Design, where I teach coding and user interface design. In this video, we're not gonna be doing coding and also a lot of teaching, but what I want to do with this video, I want to show you the behind the scene of this project. This is a website that I did long time ago, trying to see how far can I go with my HTML, CSS, and also JavaScript skills, in bracket jQuery. So let me first do the demonstration and show you how the website work and what's in it in the website, and then from then we're gonna talk more about the website, particularly behind the scene into the planning, the graphic design part of it. So without wasting time, let's get into it. So this is the landing page of the website. As you can see, it doesn't have much, just a background, a picture there with an overlay, and then here there is a get in touch when people want to quickly send you the message, and then you can go back. And also here, if you want to go to the services, you can just click here and it will take you through the services. And then here is the about us page. Also there, as I've told you, that this is just a practice, so please don't mind about the pictures that are here. Maybe on the home page you will see dogs, and the whole website talks about it looks like it's a company that produces dog food. And then when you go to about us page, and then now you're starting to see some delicious meals there. So these are just random pictures. As I've told you, that I was just testing my CSS skills. So what I did here, this is more like a slideshow of some sort, or a carousel. So you can click here, the pictures will change, so it will show different pictures. As you can see here, this is just the pictures of people, and that has got nothing to do with the brand itself. So please don't mind about that. This was just a test page, a test website. I wanted to see how far can I go with my HTML skills. So the services, as you can see here, we also have here some sort of a widget. Here I just wanted to be creative. So I was tired of those websites that looks like the same. If the website will have a gallery, and the gallery will have some sort of a table of pictures, when you click on that picture and then it will show up, and that's it. Here I wanted something different, so this is my own version of something different. You see? So when you click here, the picture changes, and also the product name will be here, and also this will be the product description. As you can see, everything changes. And then here I have a button that talks more about a list of services, things that the company offers. As you can see, in this list there is web design, WordPress, something that doesn't really relate to like dog food and other things, but at least by now I've explained that this was just a sample. I wanted to see how far can I go. And then this is our services, and also this is contact us. And then if I was connected, ideally this will show the map of the company office, and then this is just a form that you fill in, and then you click there. Another thing, the website, this project is responsive, so meaning that it adapts to the size of the screen. I'm gonna quickly show that. Let's first take a look at the navigation bar. Let's take a look at the navigation bar. You see, so now it has changed. And also if you go down, You see, now the menu is different. So let's click about. This is about us. As you can see now, the about us page has changed. Everything still works, and then also our product has changed. As you can see, it's adapting to the screen, and also it's still functional. You see the name changes, and also the picture changes, and also the details are changing. And then this is our client, and then the contact us page. Okay, by now I think you've got an idea of how the page, the web page looks, and also you've got some sort of an idea of how it has been constructed. Obviously, if you've got an understanding of HTML, CSS, and also JavaScript, jQuery. Now let's get behind the scene, how I came about into like designing, planning, and conceptualizing the whole website. So as I've told you before that I've been in the graphic design industry for some time. So the software that I was using here, it's CorelDRAW. But going forward in this channel, and also into my my user interface design tutorial, I'm gonna use Adobe Illustrator or Adobe XD. So this one, it's CorelDRAW. I usually use CorelDRAW for print production, not really for designing for screens. So this is my landing page. I'm just gonna try to ungroup everything. Okay, things are not grouped. As you can see that this is a layer on top of this picture. So this is pure graphic design. So in my own opinion, my own website and my own application are highly influenced by the design aspect of it. Maybe it might happen it's simply because obviously by profession I'm a graphic designer, or I've got experience as a graphic designer, but there's nothing that I can do without really sitting down and doing the design of it first before I get into coding. If I jump straight into coding, first of all, I take time. Number two, I don't feel like I'm in control of what I'm doing because I'm not as creative, or at 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 most I feel like I'm not in control of the whole process. But if I first open a graphic design software and go wild, and then from then I will go into coding and see how can I get what I have conceptualized. To me, that process work very well. So it's very important that you do a concept of what you're gonna do. Getting into code and just coding, sometimes you make things as you go. But if you first open a graphic design software and then do the layout, if you don't, even if you don't have a graphic design software, you can make your wireframe. What I'm trying to emphasize here, it's planning before you do whatever that you want to do. As you can see here, this looks somewhat similar to this one. As you can see that there are some changes. Obviously, as you can see, this was meant to be some sort of a sliding thing. This green part was supposed to be sliding from left and right, highlighting that now it's here, and also it moves back and there. But if you can see on the finished product, I've made some changes. This is very common because sometimes you plan this, and then when you get into doing it, you maybe feel like, no man, it really doesn't work. So that's not a train smash. You can always deviate a little bit from your conceptual plan or from your initial design. And then also what I usually do after designing after designing a layout or whatever, the landing page, what I do, I plan out my containers. To me, this is it's helpful. It helps me so that when I get into the coding, I already know that these are my containers, and also the nesting of the containers, which div will be inside which div, and how many children that div is going to have. So how I do that, as you can see that I took the same picture from this side, and then I drew some boxes around. You see here, I'm indicating that there will be a hero background pic, and then as you can see that this acts as a container, and also the labels here, they match to the container that I'm trying to design or to lay out. So this is gonna be the hero content. Even here, since I'm the one who's designing, and also I'm the one who's gonna code, I also put some guidelines here on how, in terms of code, I'm gonna bring about this design to life. As you can see, there are some notes there. Flex, it's gonna be display flex, and then the flex direction is gonna be column. So this helps me into, as much as I'm designing, but also I'm making some notes of how the code will be, and then I will just look at this, and then I will, from it, I can create I can generate or do the coding from what I see here. So now let's talk about this part. You see, so to me, I didn't maybe accidentally jumped into it. Even in my planning, I had an idea that this is what I want to do. So this is the container that hides everything. So this is like let's say a TV screen. So this animation will move from left to right. Also, as you can see that I'm naming my containers. This one is going to be swing sec 1 as swing section 1, and also this one is going to be swing section 2. Obviously, in my design phase, I'm not as detailed as the actual website or the actual final product. As you can see here, I only have one input box and a button. But if you look at the production, the final product, I've got two buttons, and also even here the button is just hero, but if you look at the actual website, it's submit and the back button. Then also I've got three input text box, and also they are very different in terms of design to this. So this, number one, helps me to see it before I code it. Number two, it helps me on naming my variables and my containers. Believe me, when you get into coding, the way you name your containers is very important. Your containers need to be meaningful, so that when you go back into the code and you want to change something, let's say this is a code and you want to change something, at least your containers must be meaningful, so that you can just have an idea on where to go. Even if somebody else is working in your code, at least it might be easier for them to change things. For instance, as you can see here, I've got swing sec 1 and swing sec 2. So this container will be swinging, and it's a section. So there is swing section 1 and there is swing section 2. At least to me, even if it's not that much meaningful, but at least it makes sense to me. It tells me more about the action that is going to be taken by the container. Is gonna swing, and then this is swing section 1 and this is swing section 2. And as you can see here, the swing container, the overflow will be hidden. What does that mean? It means that you're not gonna see this, because when it moves to the left, or when it moves to the left or it moves to the right, somehow it must be contained on this swing container. So as you can see that when you click here, you don't see this one. So I put those things there on my design so that I know that okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Then also, as you can see here, this is my second page, like our product. This was the conceptualization of this widget, where if you click here, things will change. So as you can see, you can move things around. This is just graphic design, nothing more, nothing less, nothing more, nothing less. And also here, I'm also doing some sort of a planning as to how my divs are going to be animated. So let's just look at this and compare it with the planning. So when I click here, there is this second section. There is the first section, this is the second one, and also there is the third one, you see, and then it goes back to the first one, product details 2. Please don't mind about that. 3, and it goes to product details 1. Yeah, it goes to product details. So this is the first one, the second one, and the third one. So this is how that looks in the planning. I've got a product description container, and then I've got another container, the pink one, as you can see. But however, inside it I've got also 3 containers: product description 1, product description 2, and product description 3. As you can see that the main container, the one that will act like as a TV screen, is going to be this one, and the pink one is the one that I'm gonna animate at a, let's say, at a certain percent, so that if it moves to the left, it moves to the left a certain percentage, and also it moves to the right a certain percentage. So let's just quickly discuss the math behind, a simple math behind this pink container. This pink container, let's say it's 100%. It's 100%. Let's say, even if it might be let's say 600 pixels, but that's 100%. That's 600 100%. So if you divide that 100% by 3, then you'll find out that it's almost like 305%, or let's say 30.5%, 30.5%, and 30.5%. That will give you 369, and then it's gonna give you 1.5. But the idea here, even though the math is not like 100%, but what I was trying to do here is that I'm gonna have an element that is gonna be 100%, and then I need to divide it into 3 sections. So when I'm animating it, I'm not gonna animate using like specific values. For instance, to animate it 300 pixels to the left and then 300 pixels to the left. That's not my approach. I wanted to use percentages. So meaning that what I did on the actual implementation is to take that full 100% and divide it by 3 and get the answer. And then my animation, like sliding to the left a little bit, is gonna be 100% divide by 3. So that will be the some sort of a percentage from which I'm gonna do my sliding. So as you can see here, I had 305%. Maybe I would like to think this number, it's something like maybe 30.5 or something. But the math behind was that, or the approach, or the strategy, or at least what I was thinking, is to animate it through percentages. And then from the, obviously, in doing those calculations, these are just rough calculations, because you'll find out that there are spaces between your containers, between this container, this one, and this one. Maybe there might be a gap there on my flex property. I might put a gap there. So also that is a factor also. So it's not like it's gonna be 100% there, but this has helped me on some sort of conceptualizing what I'm going to do. So in most cases, this is what I mean by being in control, having an idea of how things are gonna turn up, so that if they don't turn up the way I wanted, then I have to think again, and I have to learn from that, instead of like fluking things. It's like coding and then get it right and then leave it like that, and then go back to and go to the next step, and then code and code and code and code, put codes randomly, and then when it works and you jump. I don't like to do things that way. I like to be in control. I like to see my thoughts when they come to life. So here, that was my planning, or that was my thinking. And then from then, I've got the product name. These ones are very simple. And then what else? I think this is the mobile view of it. So this is also an idea of how the mobile view is gonna be. As you can see, it's not detailed. It's not like page by page, as I will do for maybe somebody else, or for a client. This was just for me to see, am I able to design something and then take it to production, and then code it, and see the final product. Also, in terms of design, the design helps me with colors, because it's I say, mixing colors, it's a skill on its own. So if you are doing it on the actual coding, maybe you might take time to get the colors that complement each other, but if you start with the design, you can work on that and see all the color combination, and then from then, when you are doing the actual coding, you just copy the colors. Okay, now let's go to the next step. Once I'm done with this, as you can see here, I've already got my HTML in a way from what I see here. So this structure is this one. As you can see here are my divs, here are my product images. This is gonna be a span, and all the information there, the content, you see. So as you can see here, I've got some sort of a structure of my HTML. I can just copy this and paste it into a code editor, and then I will fix minor things. And then from there, also, if you see here, I also got my CSS. So I've got my CSS variables, my colors, all my color values are already here. All the variables are already here. This is my color primary, this is my secondary color, and this is the color of the text. And also, as you can see, that the font and everything. So for me, this is how I do it. It works for me because when I'm coding, I don't have to think about the colors. I don't have to think as I'm coding. When I'm coding, I'm not sure if I'm applying the principle of separations of concern, meaning that if I'm designing, I want to design, and I want to think and conceptualize. I want to be creative. But when I'm coding, I want to copy and then make some changes and adapt, but I don't want to think on code. To me, it takes time. Maybe it might happen it's because of I've got the graphic design skill. Maybe that's why. Maybe some people, they don't do it because they are not graphic designers, and they don't know how to go about doing it. So I think that will be it for now. Also, this one is my first video where I incorporate the design aspect, or the user interface design aspect of things. But in this channel, I will be like more like 50-50 on coding and also on design. So in terms of designing, I don't mean only user interface design or web design. I realize that even in the application industry, in the back end, well designed applications are easy to maintain, and also they deliver on the promise, and the customers are happy because they are functional, they are easy to maintain, and also they are not that complicated. They are not a spaghetti code, because behind that application there is a design. For instance, an application that has got some sort of a beautiful architecture, the file structure, it's well planned. So when you open the code, when you open the code, you've got your files and folders arranged nice and neat, and also inside those folders you find like relevant file. You can read the folder, you see that is font, and then you can see the font. So this part of development is not necessarily coding, but it's design, even though it's a different design than user interface design or graphic design, but at the same time it's design. Hence I decided to call my channel Coded Design. I'm also interested in the architectural design of things, hence I'm so high into design pattern, into everything that has got something to do with the design aspect of an application, so that I can make my life easier, so that I can become a better developer. If you've got some question and some things that you will want to know about this project, you can just maybe type a comment or send an email, and then I will make a video and explain in details, or I might just give you a piece of code if you want that way, or maybe you want to know how was this done and you want to see the JavaScript and whatever. You can feel free to just comment, and then I will explain that video. Or maybe you might be interested on this template, just send me an email and tell me that, look, can you maybe send me the template or that project I want to practice from. Or even if you are going to make money out of that, as long as it helps you, it makes your life better and it adds value to you, that's not a problem. You can just say write on the comment and request for it, or send me an email privately, and then what I'm gonna do, I will just do some touch-ups on the project, as I've told you that it was just for an exercise. But however, I did went an extra mile on making it a template. As you can see here, it has got some section, it's labeled section, so that when you want to edit section 1a, you can just for instance go to your code editor, for instance code editor, and just search for 1a, and then you will find it. Let me just check other ones. As you can see, there's 1b somewhere here, which is this one, something like this, at 1b, sorry, see, at 1b, and then if there's a c. So obviously I had an idea of making this an editable template, but that was all. I wanted to show you the behind the scene of the code. If maybe you might be interested on me coding it from scratch, I will do that. Also, I will think about like coding it again and making some improvement and changes. Otherwise, for me, Matthew Msingati, that is all. If you feel like this video has added a value in your overall understanding of planning a website and also some techniques and strategies, please subscribe. Thank you.